All right. It's that time. It's time for Beyond Sight and Sound. Let's do this.
Hey boys and girls, we are going to talk about S&W shooters and prospectors. What is S&W shooters and prospectors?
We at S&W Shooters and Prospectors help people find treasure.
Did you say treasure?
Yes, treasure. Just listen to this amazing review from our happy customer, Jackie Sparrow.
Chocolate ship-shape and a pleasure to deal with. I was able to buy everything that I needed at prices that were shillings less than others. I found my 9 pieces of meat in no time. Savvy?
I know you're asking yourself, why should I shop at S&W Shooter and Prospectors?
Chuck Smalley has over 45 years of metal detecting experience. He works with each customer one-on-one to customize their setup to match their skill level.
So if you always dreamt of being a pirate, contact Chuck at S&W Shooters and Prospectors and he'll take a great deal for you.
Eye patch and rum not included.
Caution. Please do not operate motor vehicles or power equipment while under the influence of this show. Listening to this show could cause side effects such as bouts of laughter, violent binges of cabin fever, and even dreams of silver and gold. Please be advised. Now that the fine print is out of the way, on with the show.
All right, we're back, we're live, the fine print's out of the way, it's time to roll with the show. Looks like everybody's dropping in. I see Phil, Ohio Relic Hunter, Barb, Alan, Dan Witt. Dan Witt in the house. Randy DeMario in the house. And Frankie Juarez. Frankie Juarez is in the house. Bob Holycross. Good grief, look at them showing up. Wow. I'm not sure. I don't know if I thought I might have seen somebody said something about Kevin maybe, but otherwise maybe I missed him. I don't know. I hope I didn't. There he is. Yep, I see him. Okay. Sorry. Didn't see him at first. He didn't speak up. Oh, tell you what, though, dreams of silver and gold. We're talking about gold tonight. We had the Chicago Dig Fest update that we wanted to get out there, plus the tribute to Loy. I know those of you that were here caught that, and those that weren't can always go back and catch the archive. You can't miss it. Tribute to Loy Milam, 5 Mile Hollow, the story of 5 Mile Hollow. So we've got that up there. Loy was one of the founding members of Relics Radio. Sad to see him go. And I believe tonight Relics Radio is actually doing a tribute to Loy, but we promised everyone we'd be doing a recap on the Alaskan gold. And there was way too much to cover Sunday to try to work in the Alaskan gold trip, and it sounds like Chuck had heard quite a few things, which I guess Alan had heard quite a bit of that too, the way it sounded. And we'll get to hear some of these stories tonight. I see Bark says Dennis must be busy. I know it's coming. Somebody's going to make the comment. I know somebody's going to do it. It's not going to be me, but somebody's going to do it. Oh, and hey, we've even got Barks is starting to throw out the gold and silver spot price. So let's get Chuck in here, and then we'll let everybody know about the gold and silver spot price too. There
Good
is
evening, everybody. What do we got for spot? 37? Close to
spot.
it?
Gold is $3,383.
Okay, 383.
Silver
Look,
is 38.10. So silver's back up from what it was Sunday. I can't remember where gold was. There it is. Randy got the comment out about why Dennis is busy. And I'm sure you can imagine what they're saying, Chuck.
no, I imagine. I'm not seeing it. If I go to comments, that's fine.
Yeah, I knew somebody was going to do it, but Randy and Frank and the rest of the group are all saying hello, Chuck. Dan Witt says hello, Chuck.
Hey, Dan, we've got some things to talk about. The whole trip and experience, and of course Frank went fishing, and Frank caught a couple things that were just phenomenal.
Well, I mean, Frank always goes fishing, though.
Yes, he does, and he had
And
a good time.
when it comes to fishing, he's got a golden horseshoe. He's
Yes,
very
he does.
what he
Yes, he
does with
does.
the fish.
He caught, and I should have posted the picture to you. I'll post it up. I had him send me a couple of his fishing pictures, and he caught couple world class grayling. They were huge,
And it
and
was this big.
and he's got the picture to show you it's this big because those fish in this particular stream, everybody tends to keep it catch and release. I don't think you have to. And because of the size of these, they estimate the fish in this stream that get to that size are 20 plus years old.
Oh my.
Mm-hmm. And that one he got
Sounds
18, maybe 18, 19 inches. That's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous grayling. So he had a good time with that, using the fly rod and light spinning tackle.
sounds
And
like a fish story to me.
no, it
Of
is.
course, I mean, we are
And
talking about fish, so they're all fish
it's not
stories.
an easy spot to get to at all.
Oh, I don't think any of them places in Alaska that Frank fishes are necessarily easy to get to.
No, they're long, but they're good for it. They're good for it. So if you ever
Yeah,
have a desire to go, plan on at least fishing one day because it's dependent upon catch, but the Alaskan adventure part of it, they're way out. They're
yeah.
way out there, and it's
And like you said, it is world class fishing. Kevin says they've got big pike too,
yes. Frank got
which
into those. Kevin got into
that
medium. They couldn't find the big group of big ones, but they had quite the trip. And
I was not surprised at all to hear that Kevin and Clay got out and did some fishing too for a little bit.
yep, Clay took a liking to high banking and the slick plate. He was getting gold that way. And as a group, we ran the slick plate, and everybody got like 1.2, 1.3 grams
Well,
out of that
and
split.
when you do the AKAU experience,
Yes.
everybody can come home with at least some gold if it's done right. If you're
Yep.
not finding it with a detector, get in on the slick plate and do that. Try the high banker, all of that.
Yep.
You're going to get gold. And
Yep.
that's what they did. I mean,
Yep.
and
And
everybody came back with gold. Some came back with a little more than others, but everybody came back with gold.
yep. And that's your hope. And some came back with more. That's just the way it goes.
Yeah,
And
sounds like the big notable ones was Tom and Ron.
on got yeah.
I
Yep.
mean,
Right. Tom had a pocket which had a real big one, a medium, and a small in it. I had a pocket that had several nuggets in it, but working all the way around it, separating stuff out. And I had 5, 6 gram one, 3 gram, a 2 gram. I ended up with 21.7 grams. I won the nugget that showed up on the slick plate. I've got that,
I
and
think Clay would like to get his hands on that
yes,
one,
I think so too. We'll work that out, see if he wants that, and
or see how
I'll,
bad he wants it.
this is true. We'll see. But we'll work that out. And that was a good time, and it's the first time you kind of learn. Sometimes, like Tom, he stayed out right up to the last night. I mean, literally till 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning detecting, and he hit that big piece. So that's pretty cool. And his partner Jim, he he had a good time, and he had a story to tell too. And he got named Buckskin Jim because his gloves had a bright yellow coating on them, and as he
I'll
was
bet that
working,
didn't last long.
no, as he was working the slick plate, it started coming off, and picking those rocks up and stuff. He'd look at them and he'd look at them, and there was all little flecks of gold in the rock. And and as the story went, he was the only one that was getting that gold, and he's setting those rocks aside. He was all excited, and I mean, looking at the rock, the pictures they had of it, it looked like they were speckled with gold on them.
It
It
was
did
pretty
not look.
convincing, huh?
It was very convincing until they figured out his gloves were breaking down. Yeah,
Oh,
that was funny. He thought he was hitting them big, and some of them were quartz, rough quartz, and there's the gold in it. And but then they got to looking, and everyone that Jim handled had the gold, but none of Tom's. And they finally looked down and saw the gloves breaking apart as he handled that rough stuff, and all the gold fleck was coming off his leather. It was,
right.
it looked
Tom's
great.
going, wait a minute. How are you getting lucky
Yeah,
enough to find every rock that's got gold?
yeah. And then this year was my year to have. I had a really nice Honda ES 500, fairly new. They put a new engine in it, and then it'd be going along. I'd shut it off. We'd go to a different spot, move in, detect, move around, looking. It wouldn't go back in gear, and I had to mess with it and finally go back in gear. It was electric shift. You push the button and it shifted.
Hmm.
Well, it finally died,
Yeah,
and they
got a
gave me
story.
yeah. It left me stuck in camp. It didn't leave me stuck out on the road though, and
Well, if
so it
you've
gave
got a
me.
choice of where you're going to get stuck, it sounds like you chose a good spot.
Yeah, it just acted up, and there's a tool that goes in, and Tyler, he wouldn't shift. We were out down on one of the digs. Wouldn't shift. He said, "I'll be right back." He ran to the camp and brought a hand shifter that you put on. You shift it to get it going, and then it shifted all right. Then one morning, it would not shift at all. I talked to the guys there, and Buddy said, "Leave it. I'll get you another one." They went down. They got me a Yamaha Grizzly, and that monster was a 650, and it was wide stance, but it had a little steering. You had to play with it a little bit. It was a little wobbly, but it did great the rest of the week. And I caught the outside rim. There's one run that we make up past um, a couple of the claims, and then go out further to other ones. And it caught the side hill a little bit, just about flipped me, but I was going slow. It just took me up the side. I leaned back in. I first started naturally. Put your leg out to keep you from going. That's a bad idea. I sucked back in,
Right.
turned the front, and stopped. I wasn't going fast, but it just caught me and lifted me up and tilted me a ways. And no, baby, they ain't no good. I leaned uphill to it and then walked it down, and it was fine. But that thing had horsepower. Oh
Yeah,
boy.
you got to keep your wits about you with them.
Yep. Yep. So that was the extent of it. I didn't lose a tire or anything like that, but
I knew a guy that years ago he was coming up a riverbank and wound up flipping it backwards and pinned himself between that and a big tree.
ooh,
Yeah, made pretty short work of his cell phone and left him nursing some bruised kidneys for about a week.
ouch. Not good.
Yeah, no,
Not good at
no good
all.
time.
But
And apparently, the story of Buckskin Jim is on one of Kevin's videos.
yeah, yeah, it is. And then there's his wife. Even she's the one that named him that because he told her the story, and I just got bombarded by a couple of hummingbirds. Anyway, um, yeah, they just buzzed my head. They're fighting over the feeder over here, and that gold that left us all laughing pretty good. But the first week we had Sean Haynes and his buddy Bert, and Bert's from the Netherlands, and he
And quite
never
a
detected.
character he is.
Oh man! And I got the video someplace, and it may have been posted. I don't know already, but they had a group in that played old time country western. I'm talking 20s and 30s era stuff, and that's
Oh,
about all they played. And but they were fun. I mean, it was after dinner. We sat in a chow hall, and a few beers were drank, and listened to the music and talk and chat. And Bert, the boys had walked around with some vodka shots, and Bert had a couple of those, and Bert was feeling no pain, and Bert decided that it was time for a conga line to 20s era old country western music. They had a conga line going. I'd come in and they're doing
what a
that, and I'm like,
combination.
yeah, it was different, but they were laughing, having a good time. The band was shocked. In fact, they actually said, "We've never had a conga line before."
Right?
But he kept things going, and he had the attitude, and he got into some gold. He was running the 6,000, and they got a little patch where a hydraulic operation had been, and there was a lot of half gram to 1 gram size little pieces. You had to pull thunder back, rake it down, and then detect it. And they were picking a lot of them up. A lot of people got a lot of gold out of there, and those half grams they add up. They add up,
Mm-hmm.
and they were doing very well up in there. And that wasn't too far from the dig where we were working, where the big stuff was coming. I actually posted a video of George. he'd been up there while Mike and Ron were working the slick plate for an afternoon. So George went detecting up there, and I pulled up, and he walked over to me. He said, "Well, I've had an experience here." I said, "What'd you get?" "Well, it ain't what I got. It's what I left behind." He dug down over knee deep, almost leg deep, and found a 6-inch water pipe.
Oh
And
boy.
it did chuck it red good all the way down. So, with
Yeah.
all the best technology there is, a rusty pipe that big still sounds off good.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we say you're the final discriminator.
That's right. That's
Story
right.
of Buckskin Jim is on the same video as some of Bert's antics.
Yep. So there's some pretty good stuff out there if you want to see the fun that we had above and beyond getting out to go detecting, ATV riding, fishing, touring about. You can't run your ATV into town unless you've got a license on it, and a few of them do. So
Right.
we took a couple of the finer pieces of Alaskan pickup trucks, and you could just ask. They'd let us drive into town, pick things up down at the AC store. So Dennis and I decided one night, let's go to the AC. I wanted to pick up some stuff, and yeah, let's go. Hopped in, and they gave us an older Toyota pickup, 4-wheel drive, of course, but we didn't need it. And manual transmission, that's no problem.
Right.
It was a little tough to get into gear here and there. And of course, it has the typical Alaska windshield. It's starred a couple places. In other words, rocks had hit it.
Right.
And so you're looking amongst that, going down the road. It was a little foggy, not bad. Getting down the road and back up the hill was an adventure in itself. Ron took the Dodge, and the Dodge is another Alaskan vintage, and cracked windshield. That's not, if you don't have a cracked windshield, it hadn't been in Alaska more than a couple years
Right.
or a couple minutes. So, yeah, that's all part of the adventure. And then those guys that rode out fishing, that big old Dodge is what they generally pull the boat with and get up to the landing. And that's 50 miles on, well, there's not a paved road. Paving there is crushed tailings. Serious.
Right.
It's old tailings. Every road is old tailings. So there's miles of road to work. You just don't want to be out on the bigger ones because the brakes in the Toyota were soft. So I'm figuring most of the brakes in the vehicles in Nome are shot.
It's Alaska vintage.
That's right. You make your landing into where you're going to stop a quarter mile back and start slowing down, downshift, get it slow, and
Right.
then coast in
Coast.
and push the pedal all the way to the floor, and it will stop.
And have a
Maybe.
couple guys on standby ready to push back.
That's right. Put your
Jump
foot out
up,
and stop it.
throw it down.
That's right. So it's all part of the experience. And who did we see? Steve Pomeranke came to the camp, talked with him a little bit, interviewed him a little bit,
Oh yeah, I saw that live.
and he's hanging out up there. Sean is now working an above ground operation just off the airport in some non-dug material. They know where claims were dug, and he's working that, and I hear doing pretty well. And so I didn't get a chance to talk to him. They're running full bore. There was
That
dredges
does not
on the
surprise
ocean,
me.
and the ocean really didn't get rough. But one day that I saw, they were out almost every day and doing their thing, as they said, making gold.
Yep. Yeah,
With that
absolutely.
all, it's going on around you, and you have the opportunity to see, visit. Uh, Mary, she found her. The challenge was to her hubby to find her a pendant-sized nugget. Now he'd found some gold, but he hadn't found one big enough to be a pendant sized. Next to the last day, she come in and she said, "Look, oh, he found you one." "No, I found it."
I had to do it myself.
Yep, and that's what she said. I said, well, now he can buy you the link that's on there, get it put on, and a nice chain, and you got your 5-6 gram pendant. Pretty nice piece.
Right. Your
Yeah.
Alaskan souvenir.
Yep. And you put a good chain on it and that kind of stuff. You're just taking it from a piece of gold to a piece of jewelry, and depending upon what the chain costs and all that, to $1,000 piece. So that's how you do it. So I
Right.
ended up with a good amount of gold and did a lot of prospecting in between times and looking for a place for next year that may be similar to what I found last year. And a lot of good golds come out of it. And a lot of our guys got gold off it last year and this year. I did. They did. We did well. In fact, the way I found it, I'm walking down the side of the road and I pinged 3/4 ounces in about 70 feet. And I went back over, and of course they're in a push area, and they're taking all the leftovers, which were tiny, and a couple of them were getting a little antsy about it. So I basically told them, get off that back there and get out along this roadbed out here and where it was at. And this year they pushed it for us and tore it open down along the bank, and it yielded quite a lot of gold, actually. I'm talking probably with runs and some of the others, 12 ounces, 13 ounces come out of that for a couple.
Wow.
Yeah. And you start talking that kind of chump change. I mean, that ain't chump change no more. That's 35, 40, $50,000 worth of gold came up.
Right.
Yep. Last
Scott
year, about
McClury's in
the
the
same thing.
house.
Who's in the house?
Scott.
Oh, Scott. Good.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
said he's running behind. He had to shut down the lot for a helicopter to land at the hospital.
Oh,
Hopefully they're okay.
yeah.
Kevin says that he was surprised to see kids swimming in the surf in Alaska.
Yeah, the tolerance for cold water for us like that is low.
Yeah.
They have a high tolerance. And it was warm. It warmed up a couple days, so there's a beach there. They use it. And they actually surf there.
Not
Yeah.
me.
No, no. I've been in that ocean in a wetsuit and a dry suit. And that, no. There's not enough of me to stay warm.
Right? Yeah,
Man.
exactly. When Kevin had mentioned what the temperature of the water was, I was like, I ain't even thinking about getting in the water until it's at least twice that.
Yep. So we had a pretty productive trip overall for the 2 weeks. Had a lot of fun. Everybody met new friends. We got out and detected. Some got big pieces. Everybody got gold. Everybody went home with some gold. Period. Now, Dave Ralph and his daughter Erin, they came in and they had a Equinox with a 6-inch puck on it. Started learning how to use it, and I went up and tuned it up for them a couple times up on that one site, and they got a pretty nice amount of gold detecting, but they decided to run high bankers, and they did great on the high bankers. Then they did the slick plate. Now, when he pulls stuff out of the site this comes out of, some loads are much better than others. It's just the way it goes. In fact, a gentleman with another group challenged him. He said, I didn't get hardly anything out of that load off that slick plate. Now, we're talking 7 tons of material they moved down that thing. And
Oh
he
yeah,
kind
it's a
of,
lot of volume.
yeah. And he kind of complained a little bit. And Augie said, okay, you come with me. You point in the mine area where you want me to get you a load. He said, I can go over to that spot over there and you could get 11, 12, 15 grams, even up to 20 grams or more, or a couple good nuggets along with it today, and go back to the same spot tomorrow and you only get 3 to 5 grams.
Right.
That's just the way it is. Our group, for what we ran, got everybody got like 1.1 grams. Kevin, correct me if I'm wrong, but somewhere in there. And that
Which is
was,
still not bad. That's what, 120?
yeah, but that was 13 grams.
Yeah.
And then one nugget that was 1.3 or whatever grams by itself, or 1.4. And so, you know, and you can, two of you can run that pretty well. And we're doing 2 and 2 on shift. And then Travis helped out a lot. That's Frank's nephew. He hung around. He liked doing that. And he hung around with almost 2/3 of us and helped move rock. You got to keep your flows open, things like that. And they bring the big dump truck up, dump a load, and away you go.
Right.
Yep, they did well. But the group had fun. The crew, excellent. The cooks, unbelievable. Unbelievable food. We just had great meals. And I mean, that's 3 meals a day. Everybody's going in and eating. You're out working. You go in, you have your breakfast, come back in at lunch, then come back at 6:30, and you worked it off. I mean, but nobody went home hungry. I'll tell you that. Just
Uh,
phenomenal. Chef Tim and oh, what's the gal's name? She baked we had fresh bread a couple times and Italian bread, and she'd do cakes and like date nut loaves and that with your breakfast, a cup of coffee and bacon, eggs, pancakes, potatoes. I mean, you got a meal. They,
mhm.
they, yeah, they feed you well. So,
Dan Witt says that he really enjoyed meeting Dave and Aaron.
yeah.
Alan said that between him and Dan, they got 11.58 grams for just the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I saw a
somewhere,
lot of gold. People were doing well. I mean, in all aspects.
right?
Yep. Because they went out and did it.
And
And the crew helped them. I helped them. Things like that. Get them going. Get them signed up. Get Augie. Do this. Run around. Do that. And then I got some prospecting time. I've got one spot that may produce next year. I'll go back to it and start turning into it hard. I got a couple nice little 1.2 to 1.5 gram pieces off of it. And I didn't say much. I know where it's at. I didn't want to tell the whole world before we left and somebody else tears it up and it's not there when I go back next year. What
right,
we've done this year has been on the videos and people, they tore it up. They're putting people in there. Other big pieces I've been told are coming up. So there's more yet there. I just haven't figured out why it was right there. If that was a loading spot, we found out a lot of charred wood and nails from a fire.
hmm,
So I don't know what it was. Don't have any. Some of the gold didn't show anything like that, but um, last year and this year there were a lot of those pieces of that Chispa quartz and gold came up, and one really nice solid one that is ancient tertiary gold. It's worn down, smooth, rolled a long ways, and then smaller ones that were rough and coarse. I try to go back. They have a museum. I've been down to it, and they've got some of the pictures up at the resort of that area in its heyday, with things there where the train came along, where uh, different buildings. There were structures up there and tents, and they had rooms up there to rent, everything. And the notables had their claims up in there off Anvil Creek. John Clum and
I
Wyatt
see,
Earp.
Alan.
So,
Alan had to go. Phone's out of power.
what's out of power?
His phone. I
Oh.
guess.
Plug it in.
And
Anyway.
Frank's, I believe Frank's saying the baker must have been Juanita.
That's it. You're right,
Randy
Frank.
DeMario. Randy DeMario says Galaxy Golf called him today. Emily said that they are at 6 carts now, so no delivery fee here on out. It was $119 for the 2 days for Randy to rent his cart. Kevin says that Chuck really enjoyed running the fire hose on the slick plate.
Yep. Something to do.
And said that Augie made blueberry crepes one morning.
Yeah, they were good.
Steve Pacifico in the house.
So Randy says there's no more golf carts to rent?
No, there's no delivery fee because they're up to at least 6 carts going out to the camp now.
I will try to call them tomorrow because Frank and I decided we wanted a cart.
So he said that for 2 days it cost him $119, I believe it was.
That ain't bad.
No, I don't think so.
I'm going to call and rent that cart. So anyway, no, overall, I think everybody had a good time. I didn't get many complaints other than, a little wet and cold once in a while, but they all survived it.
Oh my.
It.
I guess this should not surprise me. Dan Witt puts it left, right, center was a good time too. So
yeah, he won a lot of them. I finally won one and recouped some of my money. Good golly. Dan was doing very well. Ronnie, I think Dennis won one or two. And then I finally won one and recouped a little of my money, and that was it. You going to play again? No, I'm done.
I got some of it back. I'm good.
Yep, there you go. So, yeah, that was done about every night.
That does not surprise me.
No.
And from them pieces that Ron found during week 2, I mean, if he had been a peacock, he sure would have been strutting around because he seemed like he's peacock proud with those 2.
Oh, he was.
They were nice pieces, though. They were nice pieces.
Yes, they were. So that's a report from the trenches pretty much. And I think, where am I at? 13 or 14 right now wanting to go back up. So I'm waiting to hear from a couple of them.
Kevin says that Clay was the one going to bed before anyone.
Yeah. He generally retired about 9 o'clock.
Alaska boring out.
Some of those guys were staying up midnight. They'd sit outside, chit chat, maybe throw some horseshoes. That's a big thing up there, pitching horseshoes.
Dan Witt says he can't wait for next year, so apparently he's one of them returning.
Yeah, Dan's coming. Dennis, Kevin, and Clay, and possibly Emery. Frankie, I don't know if Frank's nephew's going. I hadn't heard about that. Frank, maybe you can fill me in, see if Travis wants to go. Ron, George, Mike, maybe Tim Rushing.
So a lot of the regulars.
Dave may be able to make it back. White, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it'll be a busy group again. Then I'll figure out who's, because they'll.
Kevin says he's already counting the days.
Yeah. What week's available to who, we'll balance it out, and then we'll add. I've got others that have been asking, and I said,
right,
you got
fill in where you need to.
Yep, stand by it. And Joe's coming. I don't know about Buckskin Jim, but Joe's coming. Last I knew. But we'll have a pretty good mix. I haven't talked to Sean. I don't know if he'll go. I did talk to Bert, but Bert told me that he traveled. Oh, he had the miles posted up. My God, halfway around the world.
Yeah, I was going to say it had to have been a crazy number.
Yeah, and it took him several days with the way he had his flights laid out. And he got back, and then I invited him. He said I probably won't because his total trip with all his airfare was in the $7,000 plus range. Yeah.
Wow. But it was still an experience.
Yep.
20,000 miles, Kevin says.
Yep. It was amazing.
Wow.
Come from the Netherlands, go to England, England to New York. I don't know if it was New York. He had it laid out. He took a hopscotch deal.
Yeah, he's bouncing around like a ping pong ball.
Yep. And that's the furthest I've ever had anybody travel to go. It might be the record, period.
20,000. Or wait a minute. I misread that. 20,000 kilometers because he was in Holland.
Yeah, which breaks out to, what is it, about 12,000 miles to and from.
I've looked at a lot of numbers today. I don't know that I can do that math that quick.
There you go. I can't on here, but
I'm sure somebody can break it down.
that's a lot of time in an airplane. He said when he was leaving, I got a lot of time to spend in airplanes.
Yeah, all I know is that's a long time to spend in the air.
Yes, sir. Yes,
or
sir.
waiting for the next flight.
Right. Right. So,
because I'm sure there were a few layovers switching.
if I ever get over in the Netherlands, I will be sure to look him up because he's already said, you need to come over here and go detecting with me. I said, I would love to.
It's quite an experience. I had a listener from the Netherlands that gifted me 3 silver coins that date to 1412.
Oh, by the way, Bert did
Go
that.
ahead.
I have an 1847 silver quarter guilder that he handed to me and said, this will bring you luck. Okay. I carried it with me all week. So I've got it here. Yeah, he gave me an old quarter guilder.
Yeah, these 3 were silver coins that dated to 1412. They were Knights Templar coins.
Ooh, nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, they so they stay up here on the wall, kept together as a set of 3.
Yep.
Uh,
So
apparently they were found as a set of 3. I mean, these were detected.
oh, cool.
And they were found as a set of 3. There were 3 of them in that hole, and they said, keep it that way. And so I do. I keep them all on display as a set of 3. And 20,000 kilometers is 12,427.424 miles. That's oddly specific.
That's a lot of mileage.
Yeah.
Bert works, actually, his job sounds tough. He works for Shimano, the fishing reel and rod company.
Oh.
Yes. And he is an engineer. When they've got problems and this kind of stuff, he'll tear down return reels just to find the problem and
And
put a
why
fix
was
on.
it a problem?
Yeah, why was it a problem? And he's worked for him for quite a while. He's kind of one of the engineer gurus for Shimano Corporation.
Wow.
So,
So you really do get them from all walks of life up there.
yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. And he had a blast. He
Oh,
was,
I'm sure Frank probably enjoyed talking with him.
oh, yeah. Anything to do with fishing, you know. That's right. But
Right?
he, he was
Kevin and Clay probably did too.
he was a fireball. He really was. He, you looked around for Bert before you did anything. You wanted to see what was going on and what he'd stirred up.
Right? Yeah, I mean, I gotta say that's different. A conga line to 20s and 30s country music. I mean,
Well, that band was stunned.
the last time I saw conga line and the band was a little stunned then too. Years ago I used to be a musician, and we were playing an Eagles club,
Oh,
and we were up in the second floor.
uh,
And next thing you know, everybody's forming this line and just walking out the basically what would be like an additional fire exit or whatever, down the outside stairs, around the front of the building, in through the front door, back through the stairway, inside the building, back up to the dance floor. Quite a night.
well, they were going weaving amongst all the tables, taking up a good portion of the main lot. There had to be 25 people doing that. It was fun. I walked in
Yeah,
and went, ah, everything went to hell.
I want to say, if I remember right, I think somebody had taken count that night that had happened where we were, and there were something like 85 people in the line.
There you go.
Like, you people are nuts.
Yeah. We only had a couple little problems with animals. It broke off real clear and warm, and those muskox showed up everywhere. So we were driving up to
No
set up.
bear, though.
Yes, they had a cow and
Oh,
our cow. They had a sow and a cub spotted down just below the slick plate. There was a couple that came in for a 1-day hunt from Nome, and they were detecting. They got a brand new gold monster. They asked me to help them set it up. I went over and helped them set it up, cut them loose. They went in and had lunch. They left and they came right back, and they had that sow and cub cross right in front of them, just down below the slick plate area, down the hill, down the mountain ways.
oh my.
And either they were heading home at that time or they just went on home. They didn't want to hang out with that.
Right, going, well, I guess that's good enough. We'll just call it a day.
And Dennis, myself, I don't know who all went up. We went all the way up on top to the Snowflake and beyond. And the muskox were real heavy up there. And Juanita, that night, we'd come back. They were still up in the area. Juanita parked her bike, walked out in the claim, and was swinging a detector out in the area. She looked up. The muskox calves and 2 cows were over by her ATV, and she'd taken it warmed up enough. She'd had her jacket, laid it across there. One of them picked it
Uh-oh.
up. One of them picked it up and was walking off with it.
I was gonna say, I think I
Yeah.
can see somebody fixing to lose a jacket.
Yep. And then it threw it down. It just kept going. But she's
Oh,
like,
okay. Because what
she
are you
got it
gonna
back,
do?
but
Hey, drop that?
she thought it was pretty cool. And I'm like, I just told me you were too close to him.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because it's gonna do what it wants to do. You're not gonna stop it.
That's right. The bulls were getting a little feisty with each other. It's getting close to the second week of August starts their rut.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yep.
time for rut.
Yep. And they were already pushing each other around. So that was starting.
Mhm.
We just
Yeah.
rev engine, go by, and they'd run off and go up the hillside. But you kept an eye on them all the time. Because when we stopped, they were starting to come back down into the area we were in.
Ah.
Yep. So kept an eye on them. We detected and kept on looking for new spots. So they went out and checked some small tailings near there, and nothing much on them unless we didn't take shovels and pull the tops off.
Well, still, I mean, look at the area that you're in. You never know where that next nugget's going to show up or how big it's
Right.
going to be.
You don't know.
I
You don't
mean,
know.
could be one like Mike found.
And in some of these areas that have been worked real hard over these years have yielded a lot of gold, but there's areas within them that's just full of cable and pipe and this kind of stuff that these detectors are getting quick enough to discern that they're there
Right, they've
next to
got
the
that
iron.
separation.
Yep, and that's exactly what's going on in a couple of those places. And you slow down, you listen.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I
And
mean, at the price that
Ronnie,
gold is, even the little, 1 grammers add up
yeah,
quick.
yeah. And Ronnie found his using a stock coil. He didn't switch to a smaller coil. He stayed stock, got some more depth, and then,
So he was
yeah,
running the 11 on the 800 or 900.
yes, he was. So, it's
How deep did he find those?
the one was well over a foot.
Oh my.
Oh, yeah. You start digging foot and a half, 2 foot, and then a couple of them come up at a foot and a half. And I think that one that Joe found, that was over a foot and a half in the trash.
So I'm gonna have to guess that they were running in prospecting mode.
Ron was not. He was doing parks or general, one or there. Parks one.
I was
He's
gonna
reading
say
numbers.
probably Parks. That unless they've
I found a lot of
redesigned the
gold up
modes
there.
on the Equinox 900, the Manicore runs general.
Yeah. I found a lot of gold in the parks mode with 800 up there of
Oh
different
yeah,
sizes.
everybody found a lot with Parks mode and
Yep.
with the 800
Oh,
and the
by the
9.
way, they found, let's see, 4 more Indian head pennies, V nickels, that kind of stuff laying amongst that trash. So it tells
Ah,
you that the separation's doing well in the trash.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And it's handling the mineralization well.
Well, anyway, if anybody wants to get on the list to get on for next year, I suggest you do it now. Contact me, send me an email with the contact, that kind of stuff, and
Yeah,
we'll
because
put
it
you on
already
the list.
sounds like you're more than halfway booked for 2 weeks.
Yeah. And most of it's repeat, guys. I mean, you know,
Right.
uh,
Yeah.
but then others, Alan Humphers will probably be there, he said. Um, so that's the list I got going. There'll be people on and off.
Right. Yeah. Some of them have to back out scheduling or whatever.
Yes, and things come up,
Some
but
have to
now's the
change
time
weeks
to
or
start
something like
forming
that.
it to get it firmed up with Betty and all that. By the way, the price went up $200 for next year because of insurance. Insurance jacked up real high on them.
Hmm.
Yep,
Well, still, I mean,
it'd be 2,500.
but there again, at the price of gold,
Yeah,
you
and
know, you
if
you
you're an
get lucky
individual
enough to
going up,
find, say, a 1 ounce, 2 ounce, or bigger nugget,
you're still getting
2,500.
you're still getting an $800 discount
Yeah,
approximately. So, alrighty. Well, I'll
and
get
you
the heck out
mentioned
of
it.
here shortly.
2,500 ain't a bad price to pay to have the opportunity.
That's right. Ronnie probably took in with his two bigger pieces. Oh, 7,700 and $11,000 to $12,000 worth of gold without thinking about it. Couple swings of a detector. Bert, or not Bert, Joel, 5 grand, 6 grand. Me, I got a couple grand.
Yeah,
If everybody got over, say some of them got 10, 15, 20 grams, you're looking at a couple grand there. And you can get it. Trust me, I had very good success selling some nuggets up there. So I was very happy with that. Sold one at the camp, one in Anchorage and got phenomenal money. So I was happy.
Yeah.
Can't,
Yeah,
can't take them
absolutely.
with me.
Well,
So
like I said, that just opens up some space, so you've got space for the next big one.
yeah, the new ones. All right, that we can
Well,
only hope, right, buddy? Oh,
yeah.
we can only hope. So anyway, I'm going to back out of here. It's just about 8 o'clock, and you got
Dan Witt
questions. We'll always.
says he got 10.2 grams. Very happy.
And there's $1,000 back on your trip.
Yeah. Or maybe I should rephrase that. He got 10.2 grams and a heck of an experience.
Yes, he did.
So there is that.
And I know David and his daughter did pretty well. I don't know their total amount, but they split it up. I don't know what they took. But the catchphrase all week, dig daddy dig. That's what she kept telling them. So that became the catchphrase. Dig daddy dig. We heard that a lot. They'd be up on the hillside. He's pulling stuff back. She was working him.
Right? Keep at it. It's there.
That's it. So it was a lot of fun. Good people, good times, good memories,
There you go.
along with finding some gold, catching some fish, and eating like a king. Oh my God! So, all right, buddy, I'm going to back out of here. Thank you all for listening. If you want information, you can contact myself, Dennis, Alan, Frank. We're all on there. Get me the information. I got to get a letter out to everybody here shortly once I get a firmness on it, and we'll go from there.
All right.
All right.
We'll see you,
Thanks,
Chuck.
guys. Talk to y'all later. Bye bye.
Well, boy, and I'll tell you what, too. Speaking of eating, our own Phil Bortner couldn't pass up the opportunity at posting up some barbecue pictures in the group. Nice work. Nice work. Those looked like they turned out very, very well. Good job. Definitely. And don't be afraid to share some more of them. Those look tasty, actually. Tam, she enjoyed them too. Nice. Nice, Scott. Yeah, that could be. That could be. All right. Well, so there's a little bit of the Alaska gold recap. Remember, if you want to get on board for the next trip, I want to say it'll be about the same time of the year, somewhere into July, into August, beginning of August, whatever. Yeah. Looks like it's going to be another 2-week run. So you've got your choice between week 1 or week 2, or hey, if you're inclined to, and there's room, maybe even both weeks. Maximize the potential. See how it goes. And hopefully, it's a golden trip. Until the next one, if you enjoyed the show, throw us a like. You can follow us here, Beyond Sight and Sound on YouTube, Beyond Sight and Sound on Facebook, Metal Detecting Beyond Sight and Sound on Facebook, which is a great place for you to post up your smoking and grilling photos. Thanks again, Phil. And don't forget about Ohio Relic Hunter. He's still out there grilling and smoking and cooking up a storm, too. Randy DeMario does, too. Nice to see. Either way, we've got the wonderful podcast distribution services out there as well. Join us on one of them, all of them, or none of them. The choice is entirely up to you, but we're glad you joined us here tonight. We've got the heat coming back. Try to stay cool. We're out of here. Have a wonderful evening. We sure are glad you found us here tonight. Thanks for dropping by and joining in. If you like metal detecting, treasure hunting, gold prospecting, or even entertaining discussion, check us out Wednesdays and Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern, on your favorite podcast distribution services.